Hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here and you're into camping, hiking, backpacking, kayaking, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell so you know when we upload new videos. Today I'm going to be going over 5 tips for backpackers, whether you're beginning or you've been backpacking for a while. You may not know some of these, so here we go. Alright guys, so here we go. Tip number 1. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to put a bonus tip number 6 in the end and you will not want to miss this one. So tip number 1, whenever you're storing your sleeping bags, you buy a sleeping bag, you buy a down sleeping bag especially, but this pertains even to synthetic bags. You do not want to store them in the original stuff sack that you would take backpacking. You want to buy a large mesh net bag like this, so they can breathe and it can be nice and fluffy and so it can stay lofted when it's in storage and get plenty of air. These bags are sold. I bought these at Walmart. They're under $2. If I can find a link, I'll have it in the description below. But yeah, they're under $2 and more than worth the investment for the price that you pay for sleeping bags, trust me. Tip number 2. Myself and a lot of other people, this is our cook systems that we carry backpacking. It's usually just a simple pot. This is a Toaks 550 milliliter pot, titanium pot. And inside it, I keep my gas canister. Now something you don't ever want to do, which we found out the hard way, is to store your canister in the pot like this. Sorry for the noise. Because what happened to us one time when we were hiking our hike on the Swanee River is that there was some moisture left in the pot. Put the canister back in that morning after we had coffee and breakfast. Got to camp later that night. Went to pull it out, and just the small amount of moisture that was in it, I mean, I had it upside down, it was warm, there was barely anything in it, but it actually caused the steel in the bottom of the can to rust in that short a time. It caused a rust ring in the bottom of the titanium pot. Now titanium doesn't rust, but it kind of embedded the rust in the titanium a little bit. So I had to wait till I got home and really scrub it out well, and I got it all out. But to fix that, you just get you a little piece of cloth. I use some microfiber towel and cut it down to size. So you can put it over and just slip your can in there. And voila, no more rust in the bottom of the pot, no more the bottom of the can rusting. I keep our little stand in there, pot on it. This is our little BRS stove, and all goes in a nice mesh bag. And I'll probably do a separate review on our cook system later. But that's just a tip if you do store your gas canister that way to keep from getting rust in your pot. Tip number 3, and this is very important. You hear a lot of people talking on the backpacking sites on Facebook and around the internet asking questions about how do I keep bugs off me, how do I keep ticks off of me. They went hiking, they were bothered by bugs the whole time, they got ticks on them. I'm going to tell you 2 products right now I can guarantee you will have no ticks and no bugs bothering you. The first one is to treat your clothes. This is Sawyer's Premium Insect Repellent. This is pyrethrin, and this you spray your clothing, your gear, your tent, shoes, socks. You pre-treat them with this. You spray them, hang them up somewhere. You spray them down in a well-ventilated area. Let this stuff dry. It lasts up to 6 weeks and or 6 washings. This will kill ticks or anything else that get on your clothing. They will not get to you. The second thing we use on our face and our skin, exposed skin, is Sawyer's Picaridin Insect Lotion. This stuff is amazing. We used this the entire Swanee trip that we hiked. There was billions of mosquitoes and other things. We just kept this lotion on. Didn't have any problems with insect bites at all. So some people say, oh, it's a little bit expensive to buy this stuff and spray my clothes. Let me tell you what, the expense of having Lyme disease the rest of your life, this is cheap. You don't want bugs and ticks on you? Here's the answer. Tip number 4, and this is something again I hear on all the chat groups and on Facebook and everything else, is about do I need waterproof shoes for hiking? I want waterproof shoes. Personally, I'm going to tell you, I do not. My wife and I do not. Most people that have had waterproof shoes will tell you They've changed back to non-waterproof shoes. We both use Ultras. She used the Ultra Lone Peak 4.5s, low versions, and I use the Ultra Lone Peak 4 high tops, mids they call them, because I like a little bit of extra ankle support. These are not waterproof shoes. These are trail runners, and the water drains out of them very, very easily. They dry quickly. With a waterproof shoe, what's going to happen is, even if you have a mid, say you have a waterproof mid, and you're walking along, and you're getting a little water on your shoe, everything else, that's fine. Waterproof shoe is going to keep your foot dry. But the minute you step in a creek, have to do a creek crossing, you step in a puddle, water comes over the top of that shoe, especially with a lower one. The minute that water gets in that shoe, because it's waterproof, it's not going to drain. The water is going to stay in your shoe. So you're going to have an extremely wet foot, very uncomfortable. So my recommendation and my wife's recommendation is we do not use waterproof shoes. Get a good pair of trail runners that are non-waterproof. They're made to drain very quickly and keep your feet dry. Okay, tip number 5. We are always reading again on Facebook, on internet groups, everything else. Everybody's always asking, what are the best hiking clothes? What do I want to hike in? What kind of a shirt do I want? What do I want to keep warm, to keep dry? These things. I'm going to tell you right now, cotton is not the answer. We wear nothing cotton whatsoever at all. Cotton gets wet. It's extremely hard to dry. It stays wet forever. If you're cold and wet with cotton, you're going to end up with hypothermia in the wrong situation. So what you want to wear is, like, this is a Magellan shirt that I bought at Academy. Buy a lot of Magellan. These are wicking, quick dry shirts. They're nylon or polyester or a blend. We buy hiking pants. We buy nylon or polyester hiking pants. Again, so if we're caught in the rain, we get wet, dries very quickly while we're hiking, and it's very good. Now, there's another more expensive version for cooler temperatures. We swear by merino wool. Smart Wool brand merino wool. We have what's called base layers. We have merino 250 base layers, which means the weight of the fabric. We have the tops, we have the bottoms, the leggings. We also have merino underwear. The reason is merino is antimicrobial. You can wear this stuff for a week on the trail and not smell. Amazing. It is extremely warm for what it weighs as well. So if you're looking for something to keep warm, especially in cooler weather, either under your clothes or as a base layer, we use ours to sleep in as our sleep clothes. We have something clean to get in our sleeping bags, not get our sleeping bags dirty. Like I said, they are expensive. I can put a link to the Smart Wool site down below. The tops are about $100. The bottoms are about $100. You can find them on sale sometimes for between $60 and $80. The underwear run, depending on women's or men's, $30 to $50 a pair, but you only need one pair. One pair of any of it. One top, one bottom, one pair of underwear. Merino wool socks as well. That's all we use because of the antimicrobial properties, the odor resistance, dry super quick, and excellent warmth for the light of the fabric. Tip number 6, bonus tip. Glad you stuck with us to the end. This is actually a funny story, although it's not very funny. Just to know how people can misinterpret things. Bear spray is not bear repellent. It's not to be used like insect repellent. It's to spray at the bear. There was actually a story we read this past week where a man returned an empty can of bear spray to the store very angry and said, I stood back 15 feet and sprayed my wife all in the face and the hair and everything so the bears wouldn't get to her, and burned her. She ended up in the hospital. Now, I'm sorry, but that's crazy. Bear spray is to spray at the bear. And really, technically, bear spray is about useless because if the wind shifts, if the wind comes towards you, if you don't get the bear directly in the face or in the eyes at the right distance, because even these large cans of bear spray only spray for several seconds. So it's something you really don't need. Black bears especially, now maybe from grizzly country, I would probably carry bear spray. Black bears are pretty much big dogs. As long as you make yourself look big, you yell and scream at them and things like that, they'll usually run away. They usually, if they hear you coming, they're going to take off. They usually try to avoid humans at all costs. But that story, I couldn't help myself with telling that story. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time outside.